Hi everyone, it's Moonlight Mason, and wow, I guess it's time for me to make a string of videos because I went to sleep last night after publishing my last video, which I thought was late, you know, meaning that so much had happened since then. And that last video was all about Trisha and Jason getting back together, and then I got some comments saying, you know, it doesn't look like they're getting back together. And I was looking at Trisha's tweets and everything else that had been going on, the exchanges, and I thought, you know what? They're not getting back together, okay? And then I went to sleep, and I woke up this morning, and I love when you guys send me private messages or when you guys tell me what's happening, and I got two of them, and one of them said, Trisha may be on her way to Boston, and then the other one said something like, you know, Jason has given her an offer, and I'm like, what? And so this video is my response to all that, and trust me, I know that by the time this video gets up, I'll try to get it up today, which is Wednesday. I'll try to get it up today, but I understand how fast all this moves along. And I made some mention, I don't know if you guys read my description, but I made mention in my description that on my last video that I think my Wi-Fi is slow and I have an older computer, and you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why it takes so long to upload. But at any rate, that this video is going to be in response to Jason's video, my offer. So if you want to know my thoughts, keep watching. So in Jason's Nash last video, my offer, he talks about how, you know, he doesn't know what he's going to do with his tattoo, and that maybe his tattoo is a reason why they should get back together. He talks about how he actually gave Trisha an offer that, why don't you just do what I say? And she's like, you know, out of frustration. They're both out of frustration, he said. And she said, okay, I'll just do what you say. And then he said, okay, then I want you to do this, this, and that. And she's like, I'll do it, but it'll only be for you. And he knows that that's not going to work because it has to be for her, which actually brings me to a point that I wanted to make in my last video. There's so many things that I like to talk about that sometimes they just don't get out, right? But one of the things I want to say is this stuff about, well, for me, diet is like number one when I meet a man. Like, diet is number one for me. I mean, there's other number ones too that I can go over, but diet is huge, and that's just because of who I am and how I eat, okay? But all I'm saying is that these subjects, such as, you know, sex, children, money, diet, you know, are you looking for someone to get married to? Are you looking to just play around? These should be preliminary to actually getting into some sort of committed relationship. I don't think you should be getting in any committed relationships unless you guys have the same ultimate goals. I've done this my whole life. I've gotten into committed relationships, not knowing where he wanted to go in life, and not even really knowing where I was going, or not even really knowing what my specific boundaries are. See, these are the things that we need to talk about before you start knocking boots. Because once you start knocking boots, there's all these chemical reactions that happen, such as hormones, and you forget about all of these other things that are important for longevity in a relationship. And so Jason's video really has made me a bit uncomfortable on several levels. Okay, so some of the reasons that Jason spoke on his video about getting back together with Trisha, some of the reasons were he hates to be alone. That's a really bad reason to get back together with Trisha, because you don't want to get back together with someone just because they feel your need of not being alone. You can do that with anyone. So that doesn't mean that there's any special attributes to your partner that about the tattoo. And I really think maybe, I hope that's like a joke. You know, the other thing too is he thought maybe Trisha would come with him on this vacation because he did edit this video. See, here's what happened. When I woke up this morning and I got these messages, I right away went and checked, and there was a deleted video by Jason. So he uploaded this video, and then he did some editing, and then he re-uploaded it. Because I remember somewhere hearing that Jason would have liked Trisha to be there so that she could watch the kids, and she could take the kids out for excursions or something like that, so that he can have time to edit. And because he doesn't have any help, right now to help with the children, then he's saying, I'm not going to be doing these types of videos. I'm just going to sit down and be talking, which I really appreciate. I really like these videos where Trisha and Jason are just talking to us on the camera. I like that way, way more better than them two, or specifically Trisha. I'm not quite sure how much Jason has been a character for the camera. And I think when Trisha did her last video recreating the 1-year anniversary, she did say that she spent a lot of time editing it. It was that video and the one before, I believe. And I think she uploaded it, but then she saw it in a different perspective, because she said herself, a lot of you guys have brought a lot of my behavior to my attention that I didn't see before. In the video that she uploaded, you know, the 1-year anniversary that was filmed before all this happened, even the commentary was filmed before all this happened, it didn't show Trisha in a good light. I mean, the whole video is her really nitpicking and being such, I'm not going to use any words. It's just very, very difficult to be in love, to be happy, and to be with someone who's going to constantly. Okay, so I'm having technical difficulties because my phone said that I needed to delete some files, and I'm not sure where I left off, but I remember. I was just saying that Trisha's videos, I think she's seen a lot that we have seen in her behavior, and has taken a little more into consideration her own words and how she just nitpicked and really made it so uncomfortable to be in a relationship with her. And I know that she said in the past it's for the camera, but you can tell that, like with the Parmesan thing at midnight, you can tell a lot of things were real and they really weren't for the camera. I'm looking at some notes here that I took. I want to talk a little bit about how Jason said that one of the things that he always remembers from past relationships are the good times. I am so jealous. God, I wish that happened for me, but I guess that's a really good thing. That's a great thing. If when you think about your past relationships, all you remember is the good things, because unfortunately for me, when I think about the bad, I mean, my past relationships, or even my relationship with my mom or my dad, or, you know, anyone else that really counts, I always think of the bad things. And now I'm starting to find out that's something that I need to work on. And I thought, you know what? It seems like every time I make mention of my mom and she's gone to someone, it's funny. It is very, very funny because she's really funny, but it's still in a negative light. It's not a positive light. And there was a lot of positive things that my mom did for me. And, you know, the same thing with my ex-husband. I've made several videos you'll find on my playlist about my ex-husband. And I'm always saying the negative things, and it's so funny. And part of the thing that's funny is not really what he did, but what I accepted. Like, you know, like the same thing with Trisha. Like, she's looking at these videos and she's like, wow, you know, I really act like that, you know, that's kind of hard to take. Well, I'm thinking, wow, you know, how did I accept all this? And sometimes when I'll tell a story, someone will say, well, that was the first red flag. And I'm like, no, the red flag happened like, you know, like when we first went out on a date, or, you know, it's there way before the beginning of the beginning. And so that's interesting for me that I learned about myself, and that I'm going to really try and change, is that I think was thinking seriously about it. And I think from now on, when I talk about Mom, I'm going to say positive things about her. So as soon as I get a negative thing that I want to share with someone, I'm going to try and share a positive thing. I don't think it'll be as funny or as entertaining as the negative things, but maybe I can say, I've done some stories that aren't really bad, but they're not really negative, but they're still funny on her. So I think I've become more conscientious on the way my memory works, and how my memory tends to remember the bad things. And Jason, thank you for that, because he said he remembers the good things. And I think, wow, that was great. Oh, and then he talked about, you know, knowing deep inside what the right thing to do is. And you know what? Like, Jason is talking like Trisha, like they're being so, in one conversation, they're all over the place. You know, Jason says, I know it's the wrong thing to do. I do have a credit, so this is my offer. And he says his offer, you know, Trisha, just do what I say. Go on a diet because I want to make you stronger, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, that's not going to work. That's wrong, because she said she'd only do it for me. Oh, but by the way, let me know, Trisha, if you want to take me up on, you know, coming over here to Boston with me. So I've checked, did I check Twitter? I don't think I checked Twitter. Oh, well, whatever. I know Trisha hasn't uploaded anything. Maybe she's on her way to Boston. Maybe she is. I don't know. We have two very broken people here, and they are making decisions based on emotion. And I have been there. Trust me, I've been there, where you break up with someone and you go back together. I can tell you stories, and nothing is going to change if you continue the same behavior. It takes so long to make a real change. And again, I hope that if Trisha does go to Boston, he says that we'll talk. I've mentioned this before. Hopefully they won't talk about rewind, you know, rewinding the tape on what happened. They'll talk about going forward and making plans, a step-by-step plan on how she can compromise and Jason can try to be more authentic with what he says, which is really getting me confused, because on another video, do you remember, like all of you guys commented when he said, I just ate a beef sandwich and I ate it fast. And it was like he said it, but he just like said it like a throwaway, like he continued on his own, on the speech. It was like something, that two sentences that came out of nowhere. Well, Karina Kaboom made mention of those two sentences, and really, like, she brought like a different perspective in my head of what he could have meant by it. And it wasn't pretty. And I know, and I've seen Jason be crass. I call it crass. I don't like it, you know, when he talks, you know, crass, about using words like, you know, Trisha's, you know, P-U-S-S-Y, and, you know, his D-I-C-K, and all of these trashy things, trash, but crass. I don't like crass. And so I think that when he said, I just had a beef sandwich and I ate it really quickly, I think what Karina Kaboom was trying to insinuate, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but this is kind of what I got out of it, is he kind of was talking about Trisha's, you know, and I might be wrong, but that's what I got out of that. But in this video, he said, like, he contradicted himself, because he said, and he's just talking, right? And we're going along and we're following the story. And he goes, yeah, you know, and that's why that happened, you know, because I haven't seen any of the videos. Oh, well, actually, that's not really true. I mean, I have seen, when he did that, I was like, Jason, You're losing integrity here. Like, can't you communicate authentically at any time? What was that about? Seriously, what was that about? That's like me talking here and saying something. I don't know. I just think it was very strange that he said, I haven't watched any videos. And then he goes, well, no, that's not true. It just kind of makes you question everything. And then I got so much to say. One more thing that's really big, but something else might come. Yesterday, I actually contacted Fullscreen Live, and I said, you know, they broke up. I want a refund. And I got a response that said, when this show has been officially canceled, you'll get a refund 5 to 7 days after it's been officially canceled. And then I ran into a tweet by this guy who had emailed Fullscreen Live a couple of hours earlier, yesterday morning, and he tweeted out their response. And their response was, the show has been canceled and everyone will get a refund. And that's, I don't know, many of you guys I'm sure saw that. And he had tweeted, we're all going to get refunds. So I think what happened was with my call and maybe some other calls to Fullscreen, not calls, email messages to Fullscreen Live, I think what happened is they made a call to Trisha, and then Trisha got on the phone with them, and you know, she came up and she said, I contacted Fullscreen Live. Well, I was thinking, well, maybe they contacted her because so many of us were inquiring about our tickets, and she was trying to work it out, you know, well, maybe I can do it by myself. Maybe I can get my sister and mom to come. And she said, what would you guys like to see? Would you guys like to see me perform? Then later on in the day, she said, you know, I think I'm going to go back to writing music and performing. And I love her music. I've said this many times before. I just love Trisha's music. And so now, right, I'm thinking, wait a minute, you know, this is just, it's just thrown me for a little loop. Peter Vaughan did make a couple of comments on one of his videos. I don't watch him that much, but I do watch occasionally. And he did comment that, I don't know, that he wasn't sure if it was fake or not for actually making their live show grander or greater. Maybe they needed to sell more tickets, or perhaps there was some sort of contract question on that reality show, and the reality show said, you know, why don't you guys show us what you can do? You know, why don't you guys come up with something? And I hope none of this is true. This is all, I'm just putting stuff out there. These aren't facts. I hope none of this is true. All I'm saying is that when Jason says things like, you know, I didn't watch the video, but then I saw the video, and he comes up with stuff like, you know, look at this tattoo. This is another reason to get back together, and stuff like that doesn't make sense for a mind that things did not add up. I'm like, that brought all that into play, and I'm like, oh my God, what if that was true? And all of this has been played just so that more people can buy tickets to their show, just so that more the people who are trying to get them under contract for some reality show can say, wow, you know, you guys really know what you're doing. You know how to play to the audience, and you know how to play to the viewers. And I don't know, you know, everybody talks about Nina Unrated and how she does all this, you know, and cons and does all this stuff to her viewers. And here we have TanaCon, which was a huge, Shane Dawson, who I absolutely love, and I am a conspiracy theorist, and I follow him. And when he was talking about TanaCon and the conspiracy theories, it just made sense to me. I was just like, you know what Shane was saying made complete sense to me. And so I've got that TanaCon, I got the Nina Unrated thing, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing Trisha and Jason and all of us, and I'm like, this would be hella sad that YouTubers have come to this, that you just can't be real, that you have to make something up to just, I don't know, people do it all the time, you guys. I mean, you can buy subscribers, and I belong to a couple of, you know, a couple of groups that you learn how to grow your channel and everything. And sometimes they say, you know, at the beginning, it's not too wrong. You know, it's not so wrong to buy subscribers. And that's why sometimes when you see a video go up and there's hardly any views, but there's all these likes, that means that that YouTuber purchased likes. And the likes are, and the subscriber thing are like these robots. They're like bots, right? So as soon as a video goes up, this person is paid for like 1,000 likes, let's just pretend, or 1,000 views. You know, it's only been up two minutes and it got 1,000 views, 1,000 likes, and 2 views. And people are questioning, how does that work? Well, it works because subscribers can legally purchase likes, comments, views, subscribers. And here I am for years. Oh, I got my nails done. I like it. I got my nails done, and I got my toes done too. But here I am for years, just really trying to do it the right way, you know. And I was going to say something about my mom. I was just going to say something about my mom, because my mom always told me, you know, don't open your legs. You know, she told me a lot of things, you know, you know, don't lie, to be honest, and all this stuff. And I realize in life that the girls that I know that did open their legs, they are not, they are financially, after they've opened their legs and done their thing, they're financially in a better place than I am. Most of them are not as emotionally and mentally balanced as I am. And I am very grateful to my mom for that, because, you know, mom taught me always to say the truth and be real. And that's all I do, is I always say the truth and I'm real. And I want to be proud of each and every subscriber I get. And even if it'll take me like 5 or 10 years to get to, you know, whatever. I mean, all I wanted was 500 subscribers by the end of June. And it's not the end of June. It might be pretty close, but I'm pretty close to 500. That was my goal. And my goal is 1,000 by the end of the year. And I don't want to buy any subscribers. I just want each and every one of you that watch me, I want you guys to be here because you like me and you like my content. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go because I got all lost and everything. And I don't know where Trisha and Jason are going to end up. I do have a ticket to the event. If they do stay together, I will not be getting a refund. I requested a refund, but they said, you know, if they stay together, I won't. They also said if you were going just for Jason, which I wasn't, that you would get a refund if Jason doesn't show. But because of all this, you know what I mean? And because of TanaCon, and just, you know, feeling for all those people that spent all this money traveling from all over the place. I'm sorry, but I only live like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from where Trisha and supposed to do their live event. And I'm not into standing in lines, and I'm not into crowds. I used to be. Ooh, did I used to be. Those are different stories. I used to love being in concerts and a lot of crowds. And you know what? When Jason was telling his story about that girl that he dated and at the club in Hollywood, and he's like, bye, you know, 11 o'clock, that's too late. I used to be getting up, going to the club just a couple of times at 11 o'clock at night. I remember going by myself because I knew so many people there. That only happened a couple times, but you know what? I mean, seriously, you guys, I am so happy when it's 7:30 at night and I've, you know, done a complete oral hygiene cleanse and my makeup is off and I'm really cozy in my mattress. I do wish I had a better mattress, but anyways, I'm real cozy in my mattress And all I want to do is watch YouTube videos. And I'm just so happy with the YouTube world. I just love YouTube. I really do. And yeah, you know, I want to get paid to do this because I love it so much. But right now, it's just a hobby because I'm not getting paid at all, obviously. And I just absolutely love it. And I'm going off on a tangent. And I will see you in my next video. And let's see what happens with Trisha and Jason. I will be here for the tea. Bye.